The Modern Woman Confidence Lab. The Modern Woman's Identity Shift. Who are you becoming? Hello, beautiful woman. I'm Vandana Kakkar, and today I want to start with a question. Not a question for your family, not a question for your boss, not a question for society, a question for you. Who are you becoming? Not who you were. Not who people expect you to be, not who you have always been, but who are you becoming? One of the most interesting conversations I have with women in this is this. Many women tell me, Vandana, I don't understand what's happening to me. I should be happy. My life is okay. My family is okay. I have responsibilities. I have achievements. But something feels different. And when they say that, I know exactly what they mean. Because often what they are experiencing isn't a crisis, it's an identity shift. And identity shifts can feel uncomfortable because nobody teaches us how to navigate them. Today, we are going to talk about that. Because if you have been feeling restless, if you have been questioning yourself, if you have been wondering whether you have changed, this conversation is for you. So, first, I want to talk about, let me tell you a story. Imagine a woman, let's call her Priya. Priya is successful by most people's standards. She's educated, she's responsible, she's spent years taking care of everyone around her. She's built a career, she's managed family expectations, she's done what society asked her to do. People admire her, people respect her, people say, You are so strong, you are doing so well, you have everything. And then, one morning, nothing dramatic happens, no tragedy, no major event, no crisis. She wakes up, makes her tea, looks out the window, and feels something she cannot explain. A quiet question. What now? Not because life is bad, but because the woman she has become is no longer satisfied with surviving. She wants meaning, she wants growth, she wants something more. And suddenly, things that once felt important don't feel important anymore. Things that excited her don't excite her anymore. Goals she once chased don't motivate her anymore. Have you ever experienced that? That feeling where everything looks exactly the same on the outside, but something has shifted inside you. If yes, you are not alone and you are not confused. You are evolving. One thing I have noticed about women, especially educated women, is that they are very good at adapting. Maybe too good. We adapt to family expectations, we adapt to workplace expectations, we adapt to social expectations, we adapt to cultural expectations. And after years of adapting, many women suddenly realize I have become an expert at meeting everybody else's expectations, but I don't know my own. That realization can be frightening because suddenly you are standing face to face with yourself and you have spent years looking everywhere except there. I want you to think about something. If nobody expected anything from you, not your family, not your friends, not society, not social media, not your community, what would your life look like? Would you be doing exactly what you are doing today? Or would you do something else? Or would you change something? Don't answer quickly. Let the question sit with you because your answer may reveal something important. Let's talk about the identities we inherit. Let's talk about where identity comes from. Most women don't consciously create their first identity. We inherit it. As little girls, we receive messages, some spoken, some unspoken. Be good, be polite, be nice, don't upset people, think of others first, be responsible, don't be selfish, don't be too ambitious, don't be too loud, don't ask for too much. And slowly, without realizing it, we start building an identity around approval, around being accepted, around being liked, around being needed. Now, there is nothing wrong with being liked, nothing wrong with caring, nothing wrong with responsibility. The problem starts when those qualities become your entire identity. Because then you stop asking, what do I want? And start asking, what do people expect? Do you see the difference? One question creates a life, the other creates performance. Years ago, I met a woman who said something I'll never forget. She said, I don't know who I am when nobody needs me. Think about that sentence. I don't know who I am when nobody needs me. For years, she had been the helper, the caretaker, the problem solver, the emotional support system. Everyone came to her, everyone depended on her. And one day she realized her entire identity had become attached to being needed, not to being herself. That realization changed everything because for the first time she asked, what do I enjoy? What excites me? What do I want to create? And she didn't know the answers. Many women are in that exact place today. If we were sitting together in a cafe right now, coffee in hand, no judgment, no pressure, no expectations, I would ask you, what parts of yourself have you neglected? What dream have you postponed? What desire have you kept hidden? What ambition have you talked yourself out of? And perhaps most importantly, what version of yourself are you secretly curious about becoming? Why modern women are experiencing this shift? Here's something very fascinating. Women today are experiencing an identity challenge that previous generations experienced differently. For the very first time in history, many women have choices, lots of choices. I say you can build a business, change careers, study at 40, start a podcast, build a community, launch a course, become a creator, become a speaker, become a coach, become an entrepreneur. The possibilities are endless, and that's beautiful. But choice creates a new challenge. Choice forces self discovery because now nobody can tell you who to become. You have to decide, and that's both exciting and terrifying. When women begin creating something of their own, a business, a platform, a personal brand, a dream, something interesting happens. They often think they are building the business, but actually, the business is building them. The course you are creating is changing you. The podcast you are recording is changing you. The community you are building is changing you. The dream you are pursuing is changing you. Because growth is never just external, it's internal too. I want you to grab a notebook later today and write two lists. List number one, who I have been. Write every identity you can think of: a daughter, mother, employee, wife, caregiver, supporter, helper, peacemaker, anything that applies. Now create list number two. In list two, you have to write who I am becoming. Don't think too much, just write speaker, leader, creator, entrepreneur, confident woman, visible woman, independent thinker, whatever comes up. The gap between these two lists will tell you a lot. I want to leave you with one thought over here is that the discomfort you're feeling may not be a sign that something is wrong. It may be a sign that something is growing. Just like a seed breaks before it becomes a tree, sometimes an identity must crack before a new one emerges. And perhaps the woman you are becoming is already trying to introduce herself. The question is, are you listening? Now, I'll talk about that why reinvention feels so scary, why women feel guilty when they grow, how to stop seeking permission. Now, I would tell that the modern woman's identity shifts. I want you to take a moment and think about the question, what I just told. Okay. So, the woman you're becoming doesn't usually arrive with a loud announcement. She whispers through restlessness, through curiosity, through dreams you can't ignore, through ideas that keep returning, through a quiet feeling that says there is more for you. And yet, many women hear that whisper and immediately silence it, not because they don't want growth, but because growth requires change, and change often requires courage. So, most women don't fear failure, they fear judgment. Think about that. Many women would happily try something new if they knew nobody would criticize them, right? Nobody would laugh, nobody would question them, nobody would misunderstand them. But that's not how life works. The moment a woman changes, the moment she starts speaking differently, thinking differently, dreaming differently, people notice. And not everyone celebrates growth. Sometimes people resist it, not because they hate you, but because they are attached to the version of you they know. I once heard someone say the hardest part of growth is not becoming someone new, it's letting go of who you used to be. Think about that. For years, maybe you have been known as the responsible one, the quiet one, the accommodating one, the dependable one, the selfless one. And suddenly you want more. You want visibility, you want purpose, you want expression, you want impact. That can feel uncomfortable because now you are stepping outside an identity that once kept you safe. And safety is familiar even when is limiting. If we were sitting together right now, I would ask you this. What are you afraid will happen if you fully become yourself? Will people judge you? Will someone feel threatened? Will somebody say you have changed? Maybe they will, but here's another question. What happens if you never become yourself? What is the cost? What opportunities disappear? What dreams remain unfinished? What parts of you remain hidden? Sometimes the greater risk is not changing. Let's talk about something almost every woman understands now, which is guilt. The guilt of investing in yourself, the guilt of wanting more, the guilt of setting boundaries, the guilt of saying no, the guilt of putting your own goals on the calendar. Many women carry guilt simply because they are no longer willing to disappear inside everyone else's expectations. And that guilt can be powerful. It can stop careers, stop businesses, stop dreams, stop confidence. But I want to share something important. Feeling guilty doesn't automatically mean you are doing something wrong. Read that again in your mind. Feeling guilty does not automatically mean you are doing something wrong. Sometimes guilt simply means you are doing something unfamiliar. One pattern I've noticed is this: women often ask, am I allowed to want more? And my response is, why wouldn't you be? You are allowed to want growth. You are allowed to want purpose. You are allowed to want financial independence. You are allowed to want visibility. You are allowed to want joy. Wanting more doesn't mean you are ungrateful. It means you are alive. It means you are expanding. It means you are evolving. I want you to think about one goal you have been postponing. Just one. Maybe it's writing, maybe it's speaking, maybe it's building something, maybe it's changing careers, maybe it's starting over. Now ask yourself, am I avoiding this because it's wrong? Or am I avoiding this because it's uncomfortable? Those are very different things. And many women spend years confusing discomfort with danger. Now I'll talk about the permission seeking to self direction. This is where everything changes. Most women have spent years asking for permission: permission to speak, permission to lead, permission to dream, permission to grow, permission to take up space. Sometimes the permission is external, sometimes it's internal. We wait until someone approves, until someone validates, until someone says, go ahead, you can do it, you are ready. But confidence doesn't arrive after permission. Confidence arrives after action. Now imagine standing at the edge of a swimming pool. You have never jumped before. You are waiting to feel confident. So you wait and wait and wait. But confidence never comes because confidence wasn't waiting at the edge. Confidence was waiting in the water. The jump creates the confidence, the action creates the confidence, the experience creates the confidence. This is true for almost everything in life: speaking, leadership, business, visibility, growth. You don't become confident first, you become confident because you act. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice one thing. Every day, keep one promise to yourself, just one. It can be small: 10 minutes of reading, or 10 minutes of work, or writing one page, recording content, working on your dream, or any goal. The goal is not productivity, the goal is self trust. Because confidence is simply self trust repeated over time. If I've made a goal and I do that particular goal for 10 days, okay, that builds a self trust. Okay, suppose I tell myself, Vandana, you have to do 15 minutes of uh, walking on daily basis. And let's say I don't do the walking on the fourth or fifth day or sixth day, then it is something like the promise which I made to myself, and I'm not doing that. So that is like a self trust is broken. So the goal which you keep should be simple, and the goal of the goal is not productivity, it is basically self trust. So when your goal is met, then you build a self trust which automatically helps in building your confidence. Okay, and confidence is simply self trust repeated over time, again and again and again and again. The self trust increases, the confidence increases. Let's imagine now something. Imagine it's 5 years from now. Okay, so now we'll talk about the woman you are becoming. Imagine it's 5 years from now, and the future version of you is sitting across from you. She has grown, she has learned, she has overcome challenges, she has become more confident, more grounded, more self aware. What should she tell you today? Would she tell you to keep shrinking? Or would she tell you to start? Would she tell you to keep waiting? or would she tell you to trust yourself? Would she tell you to abandon your dreams, or would she tell you they are worth pursuing? Sometimes the wisdom we are seeking already exists inside us. We just haven't learned how to listen yet. The most important lesson, if you remember only one thing from today's episode, let it be this: you do not need to have everything figured out, my dear. Before moving forward, you do not need to have everything figured it out. You do not need certainty, darling. You do not need perfection. You do not need universal approval. You need willingness. Willingness to take that one step, that one conversation, that one decision, that one act of courage. That is how identities evolve. That is how confidence grows. That is how lives change. Before we close, here are three questions I want you to journal about. Question number one: what identity have I outgrown? I repeat, what identity have I outgrown? Question number two: what identity am I stepping into? I repeat, what identity am I stepping into? Question number three: what is one courageous action I can take this week that aligns with the woman I am becoming? I repeat, what is one courageous action I can take this week that aligns with the woman I am becoming? Don't rush these questions. Sit with them, write honestly, allow yourself to explore. As we end today's conversation, I want you to remember something. The woman you are becoming isn't somewhere far away. She isn't waiting at the end of a perfect plan. She isn't hiding behind a perfect body, a perfect career, a perfect relationship, or a perfect life. She's already here in every dream you keep returning to, in every idea that excites you, in every boundary you are learning to set, in every act of courage. In every moment you choose growth over fear. The woman you are becoming is already introducing herself. And maybe, just maybe, your job is not to create her. Your job is to trust her. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this episode resonated with you, share it with another woman who may be navigating her own identity shift. And if you're building a life, a dream, a business, a career, or a future that feels more aligned with who truly you are, know that you are not alone. This is Vandana Kakkar, and you have been listening to the Modern Woman Confidence Lab. Until next time, keep growing, keep showing up, keep trusting yourself, and keep becoming. Thank you.